I'm gonna try and do this video. Hopefully my camera won't shut off again. It's done that to me twice already while trying to film this. I thought that I would do a video instead of, typing a whole bunch of stuff out, because this is going to be quite lengthy. And I, like you, had some concerns about the qualification test. And this is, a printed copy of the items that we are expected to do on the test. And I just want to put it out there that if you have any suggestions or questions or whatnot, feel free to contact Samantha, the admin and creator of the group, as well as don't be afraid to contact Marina Santos or John Wheelwright. They are more than willing to, talk to you about any concerns that you have about the test. They have been extremely helpful when I've called. I have emailed them some panicky emails, and Marina and John have called me and kind of alleviated some of my anxiety about any concerns that I have had. And the other suggestion that I have is, like, if you've filled out your application, which is getting your doctor to fill out the form that the doctor needs to fill out, and getting your dog's vet to fill out the form. Once your application is approved, you will be getting a call from a member on the qualified list. And my suggestion is talk to them. Bring up any concerns that you might have. Like, say, for instance, your dog's never been on an escalator. Explain that, right away, or even on test day, But I would suggest doing it before test day. And basically they're going to call you to, arrange a time and a place. So in some ways you can have some control of where the test is being done. And so, yeah, just let them know, any concerns that you might have. So I'm just going to, jump into, there's a couple, there was one item that, I was concerned with on the test. Actually, I'll say it's one item, but it's actually 3 on the test. Number 27 is I was concerned with, giving the leash to someone. But that is basically to mimic, just in case if there's an emergency and somebody needs to take your dog. Are they going to freak out if that happens? The test is to mimic stuff that we may encounter out in the public. So if there's an emergency, say if you have epilepsy or you are rendered unconscious, is your dog going to accept being taken by someone else, like an EMS or a firefighter or a police officer or whatever. So that's why that's on there. And the 3 that I think that are together, which I felt were kind of conflicting, is number 28 is the no soliciting public attention. And then later on in the test, number 33 and 34 is, 33 is being petted by a stranger, and 34 is, down command while a child approaches. So I kind of felt like this was a conflict, because I'm like, on one hand, you're giving the dog the message that they're not supposed to solicit any attention to public, but then they're wanting the dog to accept being petted or a child approaching. And so basically what was explained to me by Marina is this is, like I said, to mimic stuff that could happen out in public. And I can see the point. They want to know how your dog is going to respond to when that happens, when somebody from the public doesn't respect our boundaries and is going to pet your dog. How is your dog going to respond? How are you going to respond to that happening? And that's what they're watching out for, is both your responses. And the same with a child. Is the dog going to be aggressive if the child approaches? I've had a situation where I was waiting for a bus. Jellybean was laying down. Her head was down. She didn't see the child come up from behind her, and the child petted her. So it did startle her, but she didn't growl or anything like that. And that's kind of what they're looking for, is if a child approaches, is your dog going to lunge at the child? Is your dog going to growl? You know, stuff like that. Because it's going to happen. It's, you know, children are going to come up and try and pet our dogs. People are going to come up and try and pet our dogs. It's an annoying thing to have to deal with, but it happens. And so they have it on the test so that they don't have to, you know, they're trying to think of everything possible that we would encounter. Yeah, so, and the other thing, and I gotta thank Sam for this, is if you look over the test and some things just don't make sense and you're like, why is this on the test? The best way that Sam described it is those items are to test your temperament of your dog, to see how they handle the situation. So just keep in mind that when the assessment is happening, they are watching for, I'll put it in 3 categories. Your reaction, your dog's reaction, and your reaction as a team. And I'm sure there's other factors. Sam, I'm sure you can fill it in if I'm wrong. Yeah, so I just wanted to share the information that was shared with me, and I hope this alleviates any anxiety that you might have. Again, if you have any concerns, like I said, contact Marina or John, and they are more than willing to answer your questions.